to ask for Australia's help to secure a genuine democratic outcome from the elections from last year. Elections were held in Cambodia in July last year, and at the election there were many irregularities. The indelible ink washed off. People who were on the rolls were prevented from voting. Others were deleted from the rolls. People voted many times. There were lots of irregularities, but in spite of that, 55 members of the opposition were elected, and we're joined today by two of them, and Eng actually got more votes in his constituency than Hun Sen, who is currently running Cambodia. This needs the Australian government's intervention. Australia played a leading role in the Paris Accord in 1991 that started the democratic process in Cambodia. Australia now could take a leading role if we chose to do so. The Cambodian people, through the opposition party, through Sam Rainsy, are asking Australia to lead on the global stage, to call for, firstly, an investigation into the irregularities into the voting into the elections last year. Secondly, they are calling for the complete reform of the Electoral Commission, which is under the control currently of the government, and that is a recommendation of the United Nations Rapporteur, that Electoral Commission is reformed. We have to make sure that we secure this independent investigation, the reform of the Electoral Commission, and another election in Cambodia. Australia really is in the box seat to help. And the question is, will Tony Abbott's government step up and help Cambodia? So with that, I'm very pleased to introduce Sam Rainsy, who has a series of meetings here in the next couple of days on this very issue.
Thank you, Christine. My delegation, including 2 elected members of Parliament, we are here to call on Australia to take the lead of an international campaign to restore democracy in Cambodia. Democracy has fallen apart after the signing of the Paris Peace Agreements on Cambodia in 1991, and Australia played a prominent role in the signing of that international treaty. We are very grateful, very proud to have many friends in this country, such as Senator Christine Milne, who had initiated a motion at the Senate calling for an end to political violence and to an investigation into the irregularities that have marked the last election. Australia is well placed to take such a lead to help Cambodia. Australia is a major donor country to Cambodia, which cannot survive, would not be able to survive without international assistance. Australia was a very important signatory of the Paris Peace Agreement on Cambodia, and Australia is, in our eyes, a model of democracy in this part of the world. And we share and defend the same values such as democracy, human rights, good governance, the rule of law. Cambodia needs the implementation of those values in order to respect human rights and move out of property. Restoration of democracy means, as Christine has just pointed out, in the short run, immediately, an investigation of the last election. Then, a reform of the election system, especially a reform of the Electoral Commission called National Election Committee, NEC, in Cambodia. This body has to be reformed in order to make it independent, as suggested by the Special Rapporteur of the United Nations. And once this Electoral Commission is reformed, we hope that Australia will support the call for an early election so as to give the Cambodian people another opportunity to express themselves, but this time in a free and fair manner. I am going to meet tomorrow with the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Julie Bishop, and this afternoon at 4, we are meeting with the House Joint Committee on Foreign Affairs, Defence and Trade. So we are very grateful to Australia, to the Greens Party of Australia, but also to all friends of Cambodia, of all political affiliations who have expressed their concern for the situation in Cambodia and compassion for the Cambodian people who have suffered so much for so long already. Thank you very much.
If I could just add, there is real urgency in Australia stepping up on helping Cambodia. Hun Sen, who has illegitimate government there, has cracked down on protest. He has made it illegal for people to actually come together to protest. Earlier this year, 5 workers in the garment industry were shot dead by government forces because they were on the street protesting, seeking to have a decent wage. They were asking for $160 a month only. They have since been locked into their factories to be forced to do overtime. There are shocking human rights atrocities going on. But the people of Cambodia are very, very passionate about securing a democratic outcome. And Australia can step up now and help, or we will risk more people being killed in Cambodia as the community continues to campaign for democracy and Hun Sen continues to crack down. So there is urgency on this, and I join with Sam in calling to act as quickly as possible.
Students, I'm just wondering what sort of reception do you think you will receive from the Foreign Minister tomorrow? Do you think the Australian government has given you an indication that they would like to assist with your cause?
Minister Julie Bishop called me when she was in Cambodia a few weeks ago. She said she was sorry not to be able to meet with me while in Cambodia. But she suggested that when I come to Canberra, I should contact her, which I have done, and it is why an appointment has been set with the Minister Bishop.
And what you did outline some of what you'd like to see from the Australian government, but what specifically are you asking for from the Foreign Minister?
In Australia, with the support of all friends of Cambodia, represented in all political parties in this country, if Australia could take the lead of an international campaign to restore democracy or to put back on track the democratization process that has derailed since the Paris Peace Conference on Cambodia signed in 1991, of which Australia is a major signatory.
Senator Milne, could you not be concerned that this could be viewed as an overreach, perhaps by Australia interfering in Cambodia's domestic political affairs?
No, it wouldn't be seen as overreach by Australia because globally the role Australia played in the Paris Accord is recognised. We were a leading player, we drove that process, we drove the whole peacekeeping mission there at the time. We are one of the major donors. 85 million is going this year in aid to Cambodia. So the rest of the world sees Australia as a significant player. Also, the European Union and also the Congress in the US have both also come out for an international investigation. So Australia would not be alone, and in fact it would be appropriate for Australia in this region to reach out to the European Union and to Congress and go as a group to the United Nations and ask for the United Nations to conduct an independent inquiry into the election. I think it's really important, and it is at a critical moment where we can do this. And that's why I think this is the opportunity for the Australian community through our Parliament to actually deliver on the promise of peace. Right back in 1991, we are on the cusp of delivering it. The fact that 55 people were elected in Cambodia to the opposition, and the government of the day says it secured some 68 seats. The reality is the voting system was rigged, there were irregularities in the election. We are on the cusp of real democracy in Cambodia. This is exciting, but it is also frightening, because Hun Sen is not going to give up easily, and the crackdown that is already engaged in has seen people left dead. 21 people have disappeared. We don't know where they are. This is a serious situation, and Australia could really be a leading light and show to the world that we do have some interest in democracy and human rights in the region.
We add that there are 50,000 Cambodians living in Australia. They have become Australian citizens, but they want their government, the Australian government, to pay attention to the human rights situation in the country of their ancestors. Therefore, this is a legitimate demand from the Cambodian Australians to ask the Australian government to help Cambodia to see